Hello, Lost in Sci-Fi and Fantasy. As promised, I have an announcement for a technically sequel to the challenge. I have it in my notes listed as the challenge 2, but it's got some caveats to it. So the challenge 2 will be exclusive to the RPG Hangout channel. It is something to help kind of revive and keep that feed alive. So feel free to check it out if you are so inclined. The challenge 2 is going to be a video game challenge. This challenge is inspired by mostly a post that I saw by Funkbuster G, where he is talking about how we look forward to new games and whatnot more than we're willing to go back and play games that we already have or are already available to us. And it is mostly unrelated to my ultimate decision, because him just talking about that specifically made me think about my ever-growing backlog and the fact that I'm constantly pre-ordering or buying new games. And I figured, well, let's see how many games I can get through in a year without buying anything new. So the rules for this challenge are thus: no buying new games, no finished games, so games that I've already finished, like Spider-Man 2, all the Spider-Man games, most of the Lego games that I have, so like a lot of those things. If I've finished the game, if I've seen the end credits, then I cannot play the game. But in-progress games are actually required, because a lot of games I tend to pick up and then put down for many years. And sometimes I pick it up for like an hour or so, just to see what the game's like. Then I'll set it down and then not pick it up again for at least a year. It makes progress through games a nightmare. I must include about $120 worth of PS Plus games. So basically I just have to make sure that I include a few PS Plus games in that year. There's a 1-year time limit, though. As the challenge kind of gets closer to its end, I may announce a potential extension or laxing of the rules, because I can't just continue to extend the no buying games indefinitely, or else I'll never have games. This is a best of / high score system. I'm not looking at a minimum game number of games I need to play. It's technically a repeatable challenge in that I can continuously see how many games I can get through in a year, that kind of thing. The challenge updates will be exclusive to RPG Hangout. There's an install priority, so games that are installed will have priority over games that are not. No multiplayer games. Minimum 1 fresh game, so a game that I haven't played but has just kind of been hanging around, per month. Games that I was streaming, I will continue to stream, so Dark Souls, Mafia, Final Fantasy 12, all those games I will continue to play during the challenge, and I will specifically stream them for the challenge. In fact, I'll probably set aside like a month or so to try and get through those games. And then the final thing that I wasn't entirely sure of was the penalty. I don't know about a penalty for if I buy new games. So I'm willing to take some suggestions. And of course we could always go with there's no penalty, it's just, shame on me. But feel free to send in suggestions to rpghangout@gmail.com, or since I'm probably going to post this little update on YouTube, you can comment on this video. So yeah. I don't know if I said the timeline. So the timeline is that it will start on March 1st. So it'll start on March 1st on the RPG Hangout feed, and it will go to February 28th, 2025. So I will be trying my damnedest to not buy any new games between then and 2025. Now you might ask, why that specific time? Well, one, I do have a couple pre-orders coming in, like next week, Final Fantasy Rebirth comes out, and this week the Tomb Raider games came out, And yes, they will indeed be part of the challenge. In fact, they'll probably be some of the first games that are part of the challenge. So that's going to be fun. There will, of course, be some minor updates given to the Lost and Sci-Fi and Fantasy feeds, but the main thing the Lost and Sci-Fi and Fantasy will get is a lot of the games I'll be playing will probably become episodes at some point. In fact, there's a good, like, most of them won't, but there's a good chunk of them that definitely will. Because of course they're going to be episodes. Why wouldn't they? But yes, for like the updates as to how the challenge is going, what I think about the gameplay and whatnot, kind of in semi-real time, the weekly updates, you will have to follow the RPG Hangout feed on any podcast catcher of your choice. And it will probably be audio exclusive as well. But yeah, so with that, hopefully you guys are looking forward to it. Feel free again to send in those suggestions as to what the penalty for potentially buying games will be. And with that said, thank you guys so much for listening, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.